Bro, you're not still mad at me, are you? You need not talk to me. I have to say, I really like the way you handled yourself during that dance-off. It was a challenge, and you accepted it. And I appreciate you, stepping up and letting me know you care. That was real hero-ish of you. I know you're still upset at me, and I can completely understand it. You're supposed to be the tough guy, so you want to have this big chest bravado thing going on. I get it. But in order to show you my appreciation, I'm going to give you a race card, an extra one. Yep. Take it. No strings attached. That means a lot to me. I won't let it go to waste. So tell me, why come white people can't?
I've done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Fast.
The government is giving North Carolina to the end of this month to fix the law that is blatantly discriminating against transgender men and women. I do not care. You should care, especially coming from a group that has been discriminated against on a day-to-day basis. Name 5 things more important than this situation right now. Name 5 things more important than the fact that transgender people are having a hard time finding a bathroom to use. Not a problem. 1, the Zika virus. 2, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump will become our presidential race candidates, and it's scary as hell. 3, the fact that they're taking money out of education funds and putting it into police departments so that the police officers can police schools that are seriously underfunded. 4, my personal favorite, there is a judge in Arkansas who has been granting less time on sentences based on the sexual favors you perform for him. And 5, 13% of Americans still believe Barack Obama, our president, is not an American citizen. Back to you. All right, I get you. But still, okay, fine. I'll hear you out. So, first and foremost, if you're really worried about people camping outside of bathrooms, these pedophiles, these horrific individuals, newsflash, bad people are going to be bad people regardless of what's going on in the world. Just because we allow transgender people to rightfully go into the bathroom they self-identify with does not mean that there'll be a spike or increase in pedophile-related altercations. In fact, before this whole entire law came out, no one was talking about this as a major issue, trying to protect the women and children from pedophiles. If anything, this just became an issue as soon as it became a law, and that is something right-wingers were banking on. Fear tactic. My second fact stands the test of time, to be honest. Transgender people have existed for years now, well beyond my own knowledge, and let's be honest, there's no real way that you were able to identify these people. In fact, a new study states that if you've been to a public gathering with more than 5,000 people, you have probably used the bathroom already with a transgender individual. But the fact is, it's been happening, and it's been happening peacefully. 3, let's just talk about how the hell is anyone going to be able to enforce this rule? Are you going to have bathroom versions of TSA standing outside of women and men's bathrooms in every restaurant? Because we already know TSA isn't very good at their job. There's no way you can enforce this, and if you allow the people to police themselves, you run into idiots like this.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you didn't look like a girl when I saw you enter, so I thought it was
a boy?
Yeah, and I was kind of confused when I said this. Are you rich? Yeah. So that's the only reason now that I see the woman.
He had to be a brother. Why did he have to be a brother? And he sounds like an African brother at that.
It's difficult. You dress.
This plan is never going to work. Could you imagine the amount of heads that would explode if a male turning into a female pre-surgery walked into a men's bathroom in a dress, lipstick, hair, extensions and all? He's feminine. She's feminine. That's a woman. She walks into the bathroom, walks into that middle stall, stands up, and pees. Could you imagine a little boy seeing that and looking to his poor dear father and saying, "But Papa, you said women sit down to pee. That lady over there is standing up in her high heels." That's the sound of every bigot brain exploding when they have to explain that to their kids. The thing you fear the most, you have ostensibly caused. Because if every person returns back to the bathroom they are assigned, pre-op or post-op, you're going to have people who are physically and visibly of opposite sex standing in the bathroom, and you're going to have to explain to them. Explain to yourself, explain to your own mental psyche, how did this happen? And at the end of the day, you only have yourself to blame. And my fifth and final reason why people need to stop being concerned with this whole dilemma is because it's not really a dilemma at all. People are trying to use the bathroom, and there's nothing wrong with that. More importantly, why do you care? If you're doing what you gotta do and minding your own business like your mama always used to tell you, mind your business, then you should be fine. But if you're really touched by this, if this really concerns you, if you are truly bothered by this situation altogether, here's some caveat. Gather up all the right-wingers and all the Republican and people who are pro this law and make them pay to have every single public setting have a transgender male and a transgender female bathroom in every establishment, and give them till January 1st of 2017 to accomplish this goal. And just like every other pressing issue that right-wingers seem to find with America, they will also submit to this. All right, I'm calm. Let's go good cop, bad cop. Oh, okay. I know how we're going to decide who goes first this time. Rock, paper, scissors. Ready? Yeah. This is never going to... Oh, okay. What? Ready? Come on. Rock, paper, scissors. Again. Rock, paper, scissors. Again. Rock, paper, scissors. Again.
Later.
Rock, paper, scissors. Again. Rock, paper, scissors.
6.5 hours later.
Again. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, I don't care. I'm going first. Sheesh. You know I'm you. I know what you're gonna pick. You're such a cheater. Just go. You know eventually I was gonna beat you. Today we're gonna talk about Officer Tim Purdy. Officer Tim Purdy was called out to handle a situation involving a high school student who suffers from autism and has a history of violence. Well, disclaimer, it is important to note, in the state of North Carolina, by law, officers are not penalized or mandated to interfere in situations where an individual is trying to inflict self-harm upon himself. So in other words, Officer Tim Purdy didn't have to interfere if he didn't want to. It's made very apparent just by watching the video that he understands and wants to truly help this person. He takes public service to a whole nother level. It doesn't just stop with writing tickets or doing what's expected of you. It's about going above and beyond for the people you protect and serve, so that situations like this always come out with a happy ending. Body language, which is very apparent in the video. You can see that he brings himself to his level by sitting down, making eye contact, no sharp or drastic movements. He's hunched over with a welcoming position, almost to say that I'm here and I'm not leaving till we leave together. There is no use of I am officer or use of titles to kind of make the situation a little bit more uncomfortable. He comes to him as a peer, even though there is a clear difference in their rank, age, style, and method of thinking. But it is not about always asserting yourself to get the right results. Sometimes it's about taking a step back from the situation and putting yourself in the shoes of the people you are trying to help. We have actively started working on your profile, and we have granted you the ability to make use of your profile and reach out to your fans and your community so that they know that you're always one call away. ETO is designed to make sure that officers like you get the recognition you deserve and the ability to reach out to your fan base if you ever want to or feel the need to. It is important that you know that Officer Tim Purdy, ETO is your friend and we are on your side. And we will always have your back as long as you maintain and continue to keep up the great work ethic you displayed in this video. We bring to the table Officer Nero. If you don't know who he is one of the 6 officers being charged with the death of Freddie Gray. But in a nutshell, Freddie Gray died while in police custody in a situation that is known as a rough ride, which is where officers will chain individuals up at the back of their vehicles or holding cells and proceed to ride around the city in a hazardous or reckless manner, which will then inflict harm to the people traveling in the back who have not been properly secured. In the sad event, Freddie Gray happened to suffer spinal damage that many people believe happened prior to his arrest, where he was walked up to by several officers and never given a reason for his arrest. But in the process of being detained, he was manhandled and roughed up to the extent that it was physically clear that he had sustained some type of injury that rendered his mobility subpar. They then proceeded to put him in the back of a truck and drive him around the city before taking him to his place of holding, and never gave him proper medical attention until after 8 hours later. Freddie Gray later died in the hospital due to his injuries, and Officer Nero is now the first officer being completely acquitted of all charges, including disorderly conduct, assault to the 2nd degree, and a host of other things. The judge in charge of this has been known to be really forceful with officers in their misconduct. Barry Williams is not a lenient judge when it comes to dealing with officers who blatantly disregard the law. But the fact that Officer Nero decided to have a case or have his case trialed without a jury of his peers left it up to the judge and the prosecutor and the defendant to collectively prove or disprove the situation that took part. And a lot of people out there are saying, let Baltimore burn. I'm with you. Yo, chill. Yo, he does not speak for us. Nothing he says speaks for the both of us. Bro, chill. We're black and we're Muslim. Come on, man. If Donald Trump wins, we could have been put on the hit list. Officer Nero's been let go of all charges. And yeah, he can't technically be considered a bad cop, but we will keep our eye on you. The simple fact of the matter is he knew something that happened during that arrest. He was there when it happened, and he was there. He's been in the department long enough for him to understand the tendencies and the things that go on, thus the code blue situation. He's protecting himself, but don't let this situation deter you. Officer Nero probably snitched to get in this type of position. He probably made a deal where he would give up pertinent information that would definitely put certain officers behind bars. And based on the rank scale, he's rather low on the totem pole. You're aiming to get the big dogs out of their position so that this type of thing doesn't happen anymore. And Officer Nero probably gave up information with evidence and proof to back it so that the judge can probably lay the hammer on the officers who really partake in this activity and do this on a day-to-day basis. I can't judge Officer Nero based on the evidence that's been presented to us. As the judge stated, there's no way you can say wrongfully arresting somebody led to the death of someone. That would then imply that wrongfully arresting somebody is against the law, and it's not. If that is the issue, then we need to address that. People who have been wrongfully accused or wrongfully detained have the right to pursue the officer who did it in the court of law. That needs to be something that we discuss in the future as far as laws. But the fact of the matter is, it will leave a bitter taste in your mouth. Those two links don't really add up to much evidence against Officer Nero. Once again, he was a small fry in this situation. He's been let off, but he is not out of the eyes of the public. Consider this a welcome to ETO. Your profile has been built, and from here on out, you'll be registered and identified wherever you go. So if you think Florida is the best place for you to start all over, go there and be the best officer you can be. Because if for a second we believe you're holding out on us, we will expose you, we will find you, and we will use this previous event to gauge and judge you. You belong to the people as long as you work for the people. On behalf of ETO, we appreciate all the work you guys have been doing and all the support you've been showing. Movement is growing and we're getting a lot of means. We're only $400 away from our main goal, which I can definitely get done hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I'm so close. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of transitions, and I appreciate you guys bearing the weight with me. So on behalf of ETO and everyone involved, we greatly appreciate your help and support. Please like, share, and subscribe to Project ETO. And in closing, I would like to leave you guys with some great advice. From our dearly beloved, we give and pay tribute to one of the greatest of all time. Appreciate the words from the great Muhammad Ali. If they could make penicillin out of molded bread, they can make something out of you.
Catch me if you can. I'm Ali. Catch me if you can.